How women go crazy when older men do these four things. Psychology reveals why. Younger men may have the energy, the looks, the swagger. But there's something about an older man that drives women absolutely wild. Not just physically, but psychologically, emotionally, even spiritually. It's not age, it's what he knows, it's what he does. And when an older man unlocks these four behaviors, it's not just attraction he triggers, it's obsession. In today's world, where attention is currency and emotional connection is gold, understanding what truly pulls a woman in isn't about playing games. It's about unlocking the science of desire, the psychology of seduction, and the raw truth about what women crave, and often don't even realize. If you're an older man, this is your power. And if you don't know it yet, you're sitting on gold you've never spent. In a world where women are constantly on edge, watching their backs, questioning intentions, decoding signals, an older man who radiates both emotional safety and masculine strength becomes utterly magnetic. This is not about being nice. Nice doesn't cut it. Nice is forgettable. What creates obsession is when a woman feels secure in your presence, but still senses the fire beneath your calm. Psychologically, safety is the gateway to arousal. Studies in neurobiology have shown that the female brain releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, when she feels protected, not just physically, but emotionally. But here's the twist. Protection without passion doesn't attract. Women don't want a safe space instead of strength. They want it because of strength. Older men often have this naturally. They've been through the chaos. They're not chasing validation. Their voice is steady. Their gaze is intentional. They don't flinch when challenged. They don't overreact when ignored. That emotional mastery communicates something primal. I can handle you, and I can handle life. That's the kind of strength women lean into without even realizing it. But here's the real secret. When a woman feels she can open up without being judged, she begins to trust. And when she trusts, she drops her guard. That's when she gets vulnerable. That's when she gets addicted. Because vulnerability is not weakness, it's intimacy. And intimacy is the deepest craving of every high-value woman, whether she admits it or not. When you make a woman feel safe without losing your masculine edge, you create a tension that excites her. You become the rare combination of comfort and danger, not physical danger, but emotional unpredictability wrapped in reliability. She never quite knows what's coming next, but she knows she won't be hurt. And that psychologically is irresistible. You see, most men try to earn trust through words, but real safety is felt, not explained. It's in how you listen without interrupting, how you respond without reacting, how you stand your ground without needing to dominate. That blend of calm authority and unshakable presence. It sends a silent but thunderous signal to her subconscious. This man is safe, but never soft. When an older man learns how to build this emotional fortress, a space where a woman can feel both seen and stirred, he becomes unforgettable, not just wanted, desired, not just dated, craved. There's a fine line between confidence and ego. Younger men often cross it. They think dominance is loud, fast, flashy. But the older man understands something deeper. True power doesn't need to announce itself. It's felt. And when a woman hears a man speak with calm authority, with conviction instead of control, her body listens even before her brain can catch up. This isn't about barking orders or showing off accomplishments. It's the way he says less, but means more. The way he pauses before he answers. Not because he's unsure, but because he thinks before he speaks. His voice carries a kind of weight, a kind of calm certainty that wraps around her like velvet over steel. Psychologically, this triggers a primal instinct in women. It signals leadership, reliability, direction. These are evolutionary cues deeply embedded in her nervous system. remnants of survival psychology. A man who can guide, who can hold his ground in a chaotic world, feels safer, more dependable, more desirable. And when he's not trying to impress, when he knows his value, that silence becomes seductive. But here's where the line gets sharp. Authority becomes irresistible only when it's laced with humility, not submission. Humility. The ability to stand tall without needing to make someone else small. A woman can feel it in the tone. When an older man listens as much as he speaks, and speaks only when he has something valuable to say, she leans in, she listens harder. Because now, every word carries weight. And here's the twist. The more secure a man is within himself, the more space he gives her to feel like a queen, without trying to be the king of everything. That's when admiration turns into obsession. That's when respect becomes desire. In a world full of noise, an older man who knows how to command attention through stillness and intention becomes unforgettable, not because he forces himself to be seen, but because his presence demands it. Most men rush for the body, not realizing the real path to a woman's desire runs through her mind. And this is where older men dominate, because the man who knows how to mentally stimulate a woman isn't just attractive. He's dangerous. Why? Because now she's not just looking at him, she's imagining him. Psychologically, women are wired to respond to emotional and intellectual stimulation more than physical stimuli. The anticipation, the curiosity, the way a man plays with her thoughts, dances around her beliefs and leaves her wondering, what's he going to say next? That is where desire is. Older men often have the patience, the wisdom, and the experience to do this masterfully. They don't just ask what she does for work. They ask what lights her up. They challenge her opinions, not to win, but to engage her. They paint ideas with words. They don't flirt. They provoke thought and then slip in subtle layers of intrigue underneath. And when she feels mentally seen, emotionally engaged, and intellectually flirted with, the physical attraction becomes supercharged. Her body responds to what her brain believes is rare. A man who isn't rushing, isn't begging, isn't desperate, but is in control of the pace. It's a psychological high. Because the moment she starts imagining him, his voice, his scent, his presence, he's already under her skin, not because he touched her, but because he made her want to be touched. This is how older men set themselves apart, not through games, but through mastery of the mind. And once you touch a woman's mind the right way, her body follows willingly, desperately. Speed kills seduction, but precision fuels it. An older man who takes his time, who moves with intention, not urgency, becomes a mystery, a presence, a force. Why? Because in a world full of rushed decisions and instant gratification, slowness is seductive. Women don't want indecision, they want depth. And older men, the ones who've seen life, who've tasted failure and survived it, move differently. They observe before they act. They don't chase, they attract. They don't beg for attention, they command it through presence. But here's the paradox. Even though they move slowly, they act decisively. When the time is right, they make bold moves, clear moves, moves that say, I know what I want, and I'm not afraid to claim it. That kind of masculine clarity is rare, and it drives women wild. It communicates confidence without chaos, intensity without instability. It tells her, you're worth moving slowly for, but I'm not afraid to take the lead when it matters. This blend of patience and power is intoxicating. It builds anticipation. It creates the slow burn, the suspense, the emotional tension that makes everything more thrilling. Every touch, every glance, every decision feels intentional. And women feel that. It's not just about how fast you move, it's about how deeply. An older man doesn't waste time. He knows that depth beats speed and presence beats pressure. He doesn't have to do more. He just is more. And that's what makes him unforgettable.